Okay, it's time to address the big elephant in the room. You know, that big lie that you've been handed that you believe so much, that Israel overseas is the chosen Israel of the Bible. Let me prove something to you today and have fun denying all of these facts. See, the Bible warned you about this a very long time ago. Okay? It told you, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews but are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee." The thing I want you to do is read this. Galatians tells you this: "There is no longer a Jew nor a Gentile, nor slave nor free man, neither male nor female, for in union with the Messiah Yeshua," or I call Yahusha, "you are all one people." And then if you continue reading here, you read that it says, "For in union with the Messiah, you are all children of God through this trusting faithfulness." Okay? We're all called sons and daughters of the Most High. All right? His priests of the earth, as it tells you also. That's very important. It doesn't tell you there's two different types of kids. In fact, it tells you that we're all identified as in Christ Messiah. We also identify as sons and daughters when we become born again into the family of the Most High. But why does that matter? See, I can hear all the naysayers right now, but it says that it will make Israel a great nation. It also says that it will make it a great people. And it also calls you a literal building, tent, temple in which the Holy Spirit resides. And here it calls you a literal town of light set upon a hill. Is that a literal town, a literal building, a literal castle, a literal kingdom that you can see and touch with your hands? Think hard. See, part of the biggest problem of all of this is most people don't even know when Israel overseas was created. Well, it was created on the 14th of May in 1948. Not by good people. I will also prove that to you as well. But see, so many people were so busy focused on World War I and World War II, they missed what the Zionists were doing in the background. Zionists including Freemasons, the Illuminati, and the House of Rothschild. Oh, just sit on your hands and wait for this one. For you to support Israel overseas, let me show you what you're supporting. I've seen other maps that say 850,000, but let's just stick with 750,000 men, women, and children who were massacred in this whole movement between 1947 and 1949 by Zionist military forces. And on May 14th, 1948, the day the British mandate expired, Zionists declared the state of Israel to be born. I need you to think hard about these next things. See, all of this began in the 1880s with Baron Edmund de Rothschild, who was the first to get settled in over there and to prepare the way for the coming Israel later. See, a lot of people don't understand how the Rothschild was included in all of this, but they forget that the Rothschild Temple, or the House de Rothschild, was created in Israel during all of this as well. See, began in the 1880s, but by 1934, they funded the Jewish settlements in Palestine. Who funded this big movement of Zionists? You got it. It was the Rothschild family who funded this whole movement of Zionism over there that massacred all of those people following 1934. And then, literally, right after that, you have this happen. Here, read this with me. Let's look into the Rothschild Foundation that funded all of everything that took place during the 1940s when they massacred all these people. See, the Rothschild Foundation, the foundation fulfills the Rothschild's family long-standing commitment to pioneering the spirit of the State of Israel and invest agents to change and advancement of the new pioneer. The foundation initiates dozens of innovative projects throughout Israel aimed at reducing social gaps and fostering young leadership. But why does this matter? See, I'm going to tell you why it matters. See, the problem is with these fake Jews and the House of Rothschild. The thing with Judaism is they deny Yahusha. They deny him as the Son of God. Instead, they claim that their Messiah has not yet come, and that's why they have built all this temple stuff, and that's why they proclaim Donald John Trump as the chosen one, the Messiah, aka, you got it, Cyrus the Great, who was known as King of Babylon. Now read this with me. Based on available historical and biographical information, the Rothschild family does not officially or publicly acknowledge Yahushua or Jesus as the Son of God. It's very important to know that, because here's why this all follows. Look at today's leader in Israel, okay? Bibi. If you read this here, you'll see why all of this matters. Bibi Netanyahu, as an observant practitioner of mainstream Judaism, denies the divinity of Jesus, often referred to as Yeshua, Yahusha in certain contexts, and does not accept him as the Son of God. Even Israel's own leader of these people, who is supposedly protecting Christians right now, fun fact. But I want to show you some other things that matter. See, the thing is many truthers are talking about the Noahide laws right now. They don't understand the important elephant in the room today and why Noahide law matters for Christians. See, the thing is this. Don't you know who's called the champion of Noahide law? Donald John Trump. Don't you know that Noahide law is based on the same Judaism that deny Yahushua as the Son of God? Don't you know the first law of Noahic law is idolatry? Well, let me show you what that means for you Christians and why he's called the champion of Noahide law. See, you might as well go on and stick your neck out underneath the guillotine, because read this with me. Yes, claiming that Yahusha, a name some religious groups use for Jesus, is the Son of God, violates fundamental principles of both Judaism and the Noahide laws, primarily because it is viewed as a form of idolatry and blasphemy. The core of this issue lies in the central Jewish belief in absolute monotheism, the invisible oneness of God. It's very important to acknowledge that, because as soon as you proclaim that any divinity was handed to or given to or is represented through the Son of God, you have committed idolatry according to Noahic law. Do you think Donald Trump doesn't know this? See, the thing is he was doing something in the background many years ago, hiding this from you, before recently making it public. Here, I'll show you what you haven't seen.
Donald Trump converted to Judaism 2 years ago, according to White House official. There it is. That's his blog. He said, President Donald Trump converted to Judaism 2 years ago and joined Chabad Lubavitch Synagogue in New York City, according to a high-level White House official. Mr. Goldberg says the story has allegedly been held by CNN's editors for months.
That was his private conversion. However, he didn't make it public until he said all the things you wanted to hear and irriticled you, as Daniel chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 says, he flattered you by saying things simply to make you feel good about him. Just recently, December 15th, he said this.
And I said, this is our first Jewish president. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
That's right. Bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and you see that happening. But
and you are the greatest president.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you.
In that video, you need to acknowledge what just happened. Was he lying to the camera and all those people in that room when he said it's good and it's true and it's true? Or was he lying to you? Which one is it? See, the thing is this. The Bible said in Daniel he would win people over and corrupt people by flatterings about things you want to hear, and talks of great things and talks of peace before destruction and things of that sort. And he would come in peaceably to win the kingdoms. All word for word in the book of Daniel. See, a lot of people don't know. While Israel was created, Donald John Trump was also being created 1 year exactly after Hitler's death. And also during a blood moon, which is very important. Why? Well, if you've been following along on many of my videos, you know all about the I can't say that word, V Society, and I can't say that word either, the T Society that was created by Hitler. I can't say that word either because it'll get me kicked off Facebook. But I will say this though. I told you guys about the passing on from one body to the next of the host via the VRIL parasite behind the eye, taking out and passing into the next host via the death. Okay? This is why this matters. Here, check this. See, the thing is about Donald Trump being born not only on a blood moon, but immediately following Adolf Hitler's death. Here's what took place, okay? See, according to MAGA enchanted sorcery of highest level of witchcraft, blood moons are astronomically rare events, very viewed spiritually as powerful cataclysms for intense transformation, emotional release, and rebirth. They symbolize a cosmic reset, allowing an individual to shed old patterns, heal, and set new intentions. Okay? Important things to acknowledge there. But I want to point something out even further. Again, a lot of people don't even know that the V Society and the T Society were all created and established at the same time that Israel was being formed by the Rothschild family and all of those other secret society type stuff. See, this goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. The Bible tells you about the worm in the fire that shall not die, and if your right eye calls you to sin, pluck it out, etc. like that. And then it also tells you about things like Cain, and surely you shall not die. You shall be passed into the next host, which I've talked about, which is how Tubal became Tubal-Cain at the death of Cain. Tubal became Tubal-Cain. And then when Nimrod was killed by Esau, Esau also became a mighty man as well, and so on and so forth. See, this is the worm. This is an eyeliner. This is a worm's tail, and a worm's head coming out of the eye. Right here, passing on of the host, which is exactly why they had to preserve the body. They put coals over the eyes, etc. See, but I've already made more than enough videos of that topic to get me in a lot of trouble over on YouTube and here on Facebook, so I'm not going to touch on that. Instead, I wanted to show you all the coincidences of all those things forming at the exact same time, and why this movement of Noahic law, Donald Trump publicly now confessing that he's a Jew, and also why the scriptures and all those things pointed to this time, and also why Israel overseas, and the English language makes it easy, that the Israel overseas, which is not Israel in the Bible, but is in fact spelled differently. See, the Israel in these days is the house of Isis, Ra, and El, which is where you get the story of Lilith and Satan, and their child El, Cain, Lucifer, Hillel, Ben Shahar, son of the morning star. Okay? Put all that stuff together yourself and have a good day.